Do you feel the vibes?
What's going on YouTube? So to make a quick video of my 98 GT and kind of talk about some of the things I've done to it. Anyway, as you can see here, I chose the bullet wheels. These are the chrome bullet wheels, obviously. The reason I chose the 18-inch is because I eventually want to do the Cobra brake swap. It's going to happen pretty shortly. I'm kind of sourcing the parts. I was trying to find some that are already powder coated before I do it, but I can't seem to locate any, so I'm just going to get them and paint them. I'll have a video up of that when I finally do it. So stay tuned for that, I guess. Anyway, I bought some red powder coated calipers. They're from Stop Tech. They were just stock replacements, but I think they look pretty sharp sitting in the wheel in there. And I got some smoked stock style headlights. I also have LED headlights and turn signals. The whole car, all lights are LED, except for the fog lights. I got a Cobra front bumper. There's kind of a reason for that, I'll explain in a moment. The billet grills, upper and lower. And the reason I have the Cobra bumper is because this tire actually blew out. The car used to be much lower. I mean, it was just right above the tire. Even my fenders are rolled a little. What happened was the tire blew out because the camber was like inward so much. It was right in the lip. It blew out on the highway, and when the tire exploded, it took out this front. It took the front bumper completely off. Took the wheel liner out. Did all kinds of bent everything up in there. It was kind of a nightmare. So I ended up just instead of getting a replacement factory one, I went ahead and got the Cobra one. I think it looks better anyway. Alright, and the next thing is my hood. It's fiberglass, so I had to have the hood pins here. It's kind of one I slightly regret doing. And as you can see, my window tint is quite bubbly. My warranty expired. I'm kind of kicking myself for not spending a little bit of extra money and making sure they used good stuff and that they had a warranty. So never use the discount places and make sure they use quality material and they're going to warranty their work for a few years. Alright, and I also got these Rexium Icon taillights. They light up where you see this red along the edges of each dip there. They light up kind of like the newer ones. I think they're great. It's got an integrated LED backup light, which is also pretty neat. All my bulbs in there are all LED, and they are in the sequential harness, so they scroll across whenever I turn on my blinkers and things. I'll actually make another video of that. My side markers are blacked out also. Oh, with the Takeo HP series shocks and struts. I got a good deal on them from a late model restoration, and I don't know, they've always been great on other cars that I've had. I got the late model restoration, also the upper and lower rear control arms. I don't know if you can see that red there or not. See if I get a better angle on it. You can see them mounted right there. They've been great. Been able to get rid of my quad shocks, even though they weren't in the way before, but all I did was turn around backwards and I was able to fit my wheels in here just fine. So I was able to pull them out, saves a little bit of weight. Alright, and for the exhaust, I have BBK shorty headers, UPR catted X-pipe. Unfortunately, I'm in a emissions controlled zone. Back to a Flowmaster catback. I've actually been pondering switching that out, but I was deciding to wait because I'm probably going to go ahead and do a coyote swap in this car. I really love my car. What I like about it the most is new edges. They have really a lot of straight lines. This car feels more curvy. So I like the curves. Maybe it's just me. I know a lot of people don't feel that way about them. But I really enjoy the overall body of the car. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the hood. I already took the pins out, so. Whoever had this car before me got rid of the hood prop rod. I'm not sure why, but it's quite annoying for it not to be there. Anyway, these are just regular hoses. I just covered them with a hose covering kit. This is where I put my temperature probe for the gauge that's in my car. Because the stock fan harness didn't turn on properly. There was some kind of error in the tune. And then rather than get that fixed, I just went ahead and spliced in that connector there. Ran me a probe and put my fan on a switch. You can see my fan relay stuff right there behind the box that I put in myself. This coolant tank, I think it was like 140 bucks. It was a great deal. I broke the screw not too long ago when I was switching out the radiator. This car for some reason likes to break radiators. It likes to crack them along this edge right here. So this one actually has these flexible mounts. I don't know if you can see it here or not, but it's a Mishimoto one. And I also got these flexible brackets. So far so good. It's been in there for about a year and a half. So it's a pretty good deal. And I got this big double fan. It keeps my car cool, unlike I had the Mishimoto one before, and it really didn't keep my car cool. So this cheap $100 replacement double fan, it doesn't even have a brand, but it keeps my car super cool. It can idle all day. Just turn it on when it gets hot, it cools right down. I got Screaming Demon coil packs. I needed a replacement, and those were supposedly almost as good as the MSD ones. So I went ahead and picked those up, and I had no complaints. Ford racing wires. I use NGK plugs. Use the copper ones, and I change them about every 2 or 3 years. Those are late model restoration branded camber plates, caster camber plates. I wasn't too happy with those. I'll probably switch them out with the Maximum Motorsports ones whenever I get my K member. This is just a cheap eBay intake with a BBK emission sticker, so I was able to use it. I like it, and there's just a particular reason. It's aluminum. It's real lightweight too. The next lightest one I could find was a JLT plastic one, and it was actually just a little lighter than this one, but it was like 280 bucks. This one was $50 shipped to my house. I've been nothing but impressed with it. Obviously it was a great deal. I actually ordered a different one time. I was just going to replace the whole thing, so I get new couplers and a new filter and stuff. And when it got here, it was twice as heavy as this one, so I ended up using this one again. I don't think I'd ever replace it unless I was replacing this engine, which is coming. Alright, and then whenever I rebuilt the car, actually I had a shop do it, but I had them put in stage 2 comp cams. So there's stage 2 comp cams in there on top of the PI heads. I used the NPI valve covers, so my oil location stayed the same. You can see the PI intake there. The PI swap supposedly gives me, I think people said it's 40 horsepower more than what the new edges make, because it bumps up the compression to 10-to-1. I don't know how accurate it is. All I know is I did it, and you can definitely feel the difference in the seat of your pants. Not that my car's fast, it's not by any means. I got LED headlights. I'm just going to tuck this stuff up in here. They work great. I got those from Late Model Restoration also. They had them on sale at Christmas time. And they were a sweet deal, so, and they're pretty bright, even through the smoked headlights. Gives you the HID look without the heat. And then intake there, I think that's just a Ford Racing sticker on top of the plenum there. I believe that to be the stock one, but I'm not entirely sure. I had a Trick Flow one, but its dimensions were almost identical to that one, so I just sent it back. I felt like it wasn't a big enough upgrade. If anybody knows where we can get a sweet aluminum radiator cover to get rid of this plastic thing, I'd really appreciate it. I've been looking everywhere for one, and the only company that I seen that made them was UPR, and they said they're not going to be making them again in the foreseeable future. That's quite upsetting to me. And I only seen one on eBay once, and I actually got outbid while I was sleeping, and it ended while I was sleeping. And I went for cheaper than you could have bought it from UPR. And I'm really kicking myself for not just bidding it up. And I can't even find one anywhere. So if somebody has one for sale, message me. Maybe I'll buy it from you. I'm sure there's a ton of things I'm forgetting. I know either they talked about it later or not. Alright, first thing, I got these glow shift gauges. For our water temperature, you can change the colors, 7 or 8 colors, and a few color changing modes. They seem pretty accurate according to some other gauges that I've tried. I actually had 2 temperature gauges at one point, so that's something. The white face gauges, I'm really appreciative of those. I kind of wish I had the reverse glow ones. I think they're kind of neat. I tried to upgrade any billet stuff I could afford at the time. The lock pins was a necessity because it had some weird lumpy things on there, and they just weren't working out. So I got that nice set for, I think it was $20 or $30. When I first got the car, I was thinking about painting the trim of the interior and stuff, and I started with these knobs, and after I did it, I realized I didn't want to do that. And someday I'd like to get that the dash piece from the 2003s and 4s, I think, that had the double din CD player. And get a double din CD player. I think you had to cut some pieces inside the dash, but I think it'd be totally worth it. This radio is just a $25 one I got off Amazon or something, but it does Bluetooth. It's quite shitty, but it works. And I made this little aluminum plate down here. I made spots for more switches. I don't have any more currently, but this is my fan. And there's a voltage gauge there. The thing that bothers me most about this interior of this car is just the little squeaks it makes. One of these clips on the dash piece is broken, so this thing moves a little, and it constantly just makes this whole thing when I'm driving, and it drives me nuts. And another thing is on the e-brake. This little button, whenever it's not engaged, whenever it's just down, it vibrates, and you can hear it rotating. It goes, and it drives me batty. And I also don't care for the cup holders. One of the first things people comment on whenever they see my car, the saline leather seats. I got the back seat also. So all 4 seats are saline. I get a lot of comments on them. I've had people offer me $1,000 for them and trade me their cloth seats or something. I definitely don't want cloth seats. If someone wanted to trade me a pair of Cobra seats or something and give me a little cash, I'd probably do it, but as far as they go, they're pretty comfortable. And I'm sorry it's so dark in here. I got a short throw shifter also. This is probably a cheapie. It was in the car whenever I got it, but I'm probably gonna change it out at some point. So yeah, my car was rebuilt in 2011. The body has a little over 90,000 miles on it, almost 91,000. You know, it's a 98, so it has the return fuel system, which I'm grateful for, actually, because Coyote motors, I believe, require return systems, so that's one less thing I gotta worry about. I got a lot of plans for this car. I don't know when money's gonna allow me to do things. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking at my Mustang. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave it in the section below. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, take it easy.